I'm not so perfect, baby, yeah, you are. Come right.
Panda, or Panda Global, has been making great strides in the FGC YouTube space lately, with their team of players and editors, most of which were acquired in 2020. Today I want to take a look at how Panda is using YouTube to grow their competitors and content creators' careers using four specific cases: KizzyKay, JWong, HookGangGod, and Punk. KizzyKay was signed by Panda Global in May of 2020, and at this time he had 659 subscribers and around 20,000 total views. Let's go ahead and take a look at his graph here on Social Blade. So this is May 2020, around the time that he was signed, and you can see he has 659 subscribers. And this is weekly, so I think the first video that he posted with Panda Global, which we'll take a look at in a minute here, was on May 28th. This is May 29th here, and you can see he grew a little bit, but by the time we hit September or August, he's already doubled, and then the growth is just exponential from here. This is insane, right? Look, from May to January, this is today to today, he's at 14,200 subscribers. Total video views also insane, right? 19,000 total views. This is probably what he gets on one video now. And he's all the way at 1.1 million, almost 1.2 million. So let's go ahead and take a look at where this change took place. You can see here all these videos, all these tech videos, recording the screen with the with the phone or whatever. And then all of a sudden, high quality videos, right? And even this one, this is, I believe, his first video on Panda Global. Yeah, so you can see all this here. And the description, this is huge, right? I think Panda Global has a very good understanding. Their editors or whoever is in charge of doing like the tags and the metadata behind these videos is very good at what they do. Because you can see here, they're even putting, you know, they're all their players. So all these names are getting hit, and then all of these games are getting hit too, right? This is a lot of text, it looks like, in the description, but all this has a meaning behind it, even if it's not for you to read. It's for, you know, the algorithm and the search engine to process. These are very important, and I think that them using these to their advantage shows they know what they're doing. But yeah, this is the first video, and then here you can see, you know, 10 times the views pretty much, which is insane. And then we keep going, 9.5K, and we're down back to 200. And then it sort of, you know, wavers for a while until about right here. And I think this is the Strive beta. Around when the Strive beta came out is when his channel sort of surfaced and started gaining. It sort of was like a graph, right? So he's rising, and then at the Strive point, he sort of hit the tip, and he's surfacing, and now he's rising again, right? But according, you know, that I think that's what this is right here. This right here, see how it's sort of slanted? It's sort of surfacing, and then it just takes off again. I think that's what that is. But I think that KizzyKay is the most interesting pickup by Panda, and the best example of them using YouTube as a way to grow a career in a genre that is considered very niche. As a whole, the fighting game genre is smaller. It's a smaller esport. However, anime fighters in particular are notoriously small, and you know, people call them Discord fighters and stuff. But KizzyKay sort of breaks the idea of that being a limiting factor, but instead uses this to his advantage to carve his own unique spot in this community. If he can band together all of the anime, you know, all the anime fighter community, or not even all of them, but a decent chunk, I think that's why we're seeing such a large community gathering around this channel. And I think it's great. JWong was signed by Panda Global in October of 2020, and at this time he already had 62,600 subscribers and 4 million total channel views. This didn't surprise me because, as Echo Fox was his previous sponsor, they really understood the importance of building a player's career in all aspects. And a good example of this was Sonic Fox. Sonic Fox is good at every game, and they really understood how to capitalize on their skill. So I think Echo and all of Echo Fox's players had a pretty big presence compared to other orgs. And another note here is that the founder of Equinox, Emily, or Nix Rose, was the previous social media coordinator at EchoFox and spoke on this in detail in an interview with Hold Back to Block. If you haven't watched that interview and you're really into esports and finance, I definitely recommend it. She talks about how important it was to build the player's legacy and sort of shape the whole package rather than just focusing on their gameplay and their tournament results, which is something that if you watched Optic Gaming a long time ago, Hex owns them again now, but previously when he owned them, he talked about how they really put content over results, and that's why they reached such a high level and why their org was worth so much money in the end, because they understood that so well at a time when YouTube wasn't really seen as a big deal for some orgs. I think JWong really deserves a career in the FGC. If anyone, he has an insane legacy stretching back years and years and plethoras of championships, and it's very fitting that the community is giving back to him in the form of subs and YouTube support at this time. His channel is very unique because he can pull from a vast knowledge of many retro games and still play them at a high level and make content out of it for players like me who are younger who never had a chance to experience these games like CVS2 and like Alpha 3 and stuff at their height. And I like the characters, right? Because I play Street Fighter, and I see the characters in their old forms when I watch JWong's videos, and I think that's really cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at his stats now. So in October he was signed. So right here, 62,600. And you can see he's still growing at a very steady pace. Also, his views right here still going up at a very steady pace. It seems like the curve for his views is a little steeper though, so he might be getting a lot more views than he was previously, it seems like. Let's go ahead and take a look at his channel. This is the first video he posted after being signed. Something interesting about his channel is that he doesn't do what the other channels do, where they have like their whole description is full of that metadata, and then they have like Panda Global and like all the Panda players, all the Panda games. He doesn't have that in any of his videos, which is pretty unique to him, I think. We'll go ahead and check that out whenever we look at the other two. But yeah, you can see here he stays pretty true to what he's been doing. His editor queue is really cool too. I like his style a lot, and I like those intros that he does, where it's sort of like just walking down a street with the music. I think it's really good. You can see he was doing his own thing for a while though. He was doing his own thing for a while, and some of them were, he was getting some hits here. I think he did a lot for. By signing, he obviously he got a lot from Panda, but I think he did a lot for the other players too. He sort of gave credibility, right, because of his legacy and everything that he's done in the past. You can see that even some of his most of his highest viewed videos are from before he was even signed too. So I think that JWong is a really cool example of a player who has stopped competing, but has sort of seen the power of content creation. HookGangGod was signed by Panda Global in October of 2020, and at this time he had 27,000 subscribers and 4 million total channel views. This did not surprise me, as his previous sponsor was NRG. Let's go ahead and take a look at NRG's executive board, right? And you'll probably notice some familiar faces here. They have Hex, who previously owned Optic, and currently does own Optic again. And he was very instrumental in putting forward content over results, which really led to Optic Gaming's rise. They also have huge money here, right? They have A-Rod, Shaquille O'Neal, Ryan Howard, Michael Strahan, Marshawn Lynch, Jennifer Lopez, and Tiesto, Jimmy Rollins. So they have the money to do what they want to do and what they need to do, and they obviously know what they're doing. So I think that is a big reason why he got such a big start. That, and he's just an entertaining dude, right? I've recently gotten into Dragon Ball Fighters, and I love watching Hook stream. Even when he's not playing Dragon Ball, right? He was doing like Salty Bet the other day, and playing like old MK, like weird single player games. He's just overall really entertaining dude. And I think he's super relatable to like the younger generation of people who are playing like Dragon Ball and stuff like that. He's around, I think he's in his early 20s like me, and it makes it a very relatable experience to watch his stream. I think he has insane skill at the game, obviously, and he has huge potential. And I think that Panda Global really did a good job in scouting Hook. I think he's a great pickup for the organization, honestly. Let's go ahead and take a look at his stats here. So right here was when he was signed, right? October. He was actually signed a day after JWong, according to Wikipedia. So 27,000 subscribers, and he started at about 4 million views. And you can see that even before he joined Panda Global, if you keep scrolling and scrolling, uh, that he had a YouTube presence. That NRG, I think, might have been instrumental in this if he wasn't doing this on his own. I think right here maybe where they started doing this hashtag DBFZ thing. Most editors for orgs understand like metadata pretty well, I'd like to think, and this is sort of another thing that you can do with the search engine and with YouTube to get put higher up and to get in people's recommended. So I think that's sort of where it took off. And then obviously he's got, great views on all his videos. DBFZ is a very curious case too because not only are you getting the people who play the game, but you're getting people who like the show and the anime and the manga. So it breeds a very good space for the FGC in that slot. And you can see his views are tremendous. They're very good. 90K, 90K, 80, and it's only up from here, right? With the new DLC and DBFZ still being supported by the developer, tournaments, all that. I think that he has a bright future. All right, now let's talk about Punk. Punk was re-signed by Panda Global in May of 2020 alongside KizzyKay, and at this time he had a very small amount of subscribers. Social Blade actually doesn't even go back that far for total subscribers, but we can take a look at his weekly subscriber gain from when he joined Panda and sort of get an idea. And we'll take a look at that here in a second. Punk was previously on Panda Global, but it seemed that he was more focused on his competitive side as his YouTube has no uploads from that first term. Punk was winning everything at this time and was on top of the Street Fighter world, so I can see why content was not a priority for him, as it didn't really need to be. However, with COVID shutting down all the majors, it's only natural that he had to transition into a content-oriented career for the time being. As a rising star in the scene who seemingly came out of nowhere and swept Street Fighter V, I think he's able to pull on his achievements as well as his charisma and natural entertainment value to deliver a great package to the viewer. His achievements and just his raw skill at the game allow him to win tournaments like weeklies, such as NLBC or Wednesday Night Fights, without even playing his main a lot of the time. At some point he was playing Wednesday Night Fights and playing like Cody and Ibuki and all kinds of different characters just to show that he was that much better, right? And I think that was really impressive to watch. Now let's go ahead and take a look at his Social Blade. So he joined in May of 2020, so about right here, and you can see that curve gets huge, right? He gained 700 subscribers from June 1st to June 8th, as opposed to at the beginning of the year he was getting about 100 subscribers a week. Then he dips down to about 30 to 50 to 100. And then he sort of goes up here when he joins, and then this is where it gets huge, right? This is where Panda's really pushing his channel, and the editors are doing their thing. 1,400, 1,000, and so on and so forth. A lot of growth there. This is from October to now, so he's almost doubled. From October of 2020 to January 2021, he's almost doubled in subscriber count, which is amazing. And then here's viewers. He has about 3.4 million as of January 11th, which might seem weird because JWong and HookGangGod have about 4 million, but I'll show you why now. And that's because his first upload was about a year ago at this point, and he was sort of, I think, doing this on his own. You can see that the thumbnails are not very impressive. They're kind of amateur. And then about right here, I think either he like sort of figured out how to use Photoshop a little better, or he got an editor here, because this thumbnail obviously looks like something you would see normally. And then we sort of go to like the weird thumbnails again, and I think right about here, right here you can see where it takes off, right? This is where he gets signed, Panda gets the editor going, and things start falling together. And the rest is history, right? The growth is exponential. Take a look at his most popular videos. His most popular videos are after he was signed to Panda, right? And after the editor and his content team sort of took over and got everything running. I think his editor is usually Spinfinite, and Spinfinite is really good. I really like his style too. And this is also something that we didn't see with some of the other channels where their highest viewed videos. I think HookGangGod and JWong's highest viewed videos were not from after they were signed. It was from before. So this is, you know, a very good example of what a sponsor can do for you, content wise. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please consider subscribing. If anybody from Panda Global happens to see this and they have time for an interview or anything like that, please contact me. My email is in my Twitter bio. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.